Hey, family. It is, let me turn my mic on. Is this thing on? Hey, guys, it's Nikki with That Homeschool Life, and I am live. This is a very spontaneous live, and the reason why I'm going live tonight, it's about 7 o'clock my time, so it's kind of late for you guys on the other side of the country, but this was just on my mind, and I wanted to give some answers to a homeschool mom who was asking me how to salvage or filling gaps with a less than ideal curriculum. So I'm going to just wait a couple of seconds or so some people can come in. And let me put some of my notes here because I realized that I had been salvaging curriculum. Well, look, as a mom, you salvage everything. You salvage dinner, you salvage a birthday party about to go off the rails. You know, we're good at salvaging things. So why not curriculum? So, okay, I think I got all my stuff together. All right, guys. So if you are new to this channel, I'm Nikki, hey, and this channel is all about homeschool topics as of tonight, product reviews, curriculum reviews. I do day in the lives, I do vlogs, all that good stuff. So a kind of one-stop shop for homeschooling. I'm growing, y'all. I'm putting stuff out. I'm putting content out. So it's coming. So, speaking of content, look, guys, I got all this equipment. Everything just came in this past week, and I've been like just trying everything out, different settings, different things. And I have new microphones, camera lenses, although I'm on my laptop tonight because I don't have enough subscribers to go live with a camera. So anyway, YouTube. But yeah, so lights, everything. So I'm still playing around with things. So you'll be seeing stuff change probably every video. But listen, okay. So Nick, I didn't spend all this money on curriculum. It's the first day of school. It's the first hour of school. And it's not working for us. Or you're 6 weeks in, you're 4 months in. And because you've been trying to make it work, because that's what we do as educators, as moms, and you're like, I really gave my best. I gave this curriculum, an honest go, but it's just not working for my children or for me. Sometimes the curriculum might be great for your child. Sometimes the parent, the educator might get in the way. But in this case, you have your curriculum and you're realizing that your child is crying all the time when you bring, the book out, the lesson plans out, or you cringe bringing it out, or just trying to plan the prep work is maybe too much for you, or it's not enough. Or you find the beginning of the curriculum is really great, and then by chapter 15, things start to fall apart. So this is what you do. Okay, so the first, and this is a big intangible that should really just be a life lesson. It's your mindset. You got to come in here like a Jedi. I mean, you have to be Luke Skywalker, knowing that the Force is with you. I'm serious, because listen, my perfect type A OCD moms, and I love you because my sister is one. Not everything, almost nothing is going to be perfect. You are going to be tweaking the most perfect curriculum that you think. Even the most perfect man, you're going to tweak. So it depends on, it's up to you to decide, well, how much tweaking do I really want to do? A little, that's a tweak. But when that's a haul, that's an overhaul. So we're talking about tweaking things. So your mindset going in is that, hold on. If you watch my last live, I was doing a review on 2nd grade or 4th grade curriculum. And we have this curriculum, Well-Ordered Language by Classical Academic Press. Lots of people, lots of homeschoolers love it. It did not work with us. And I tried for 6 weeks. I mean, I put that circle in that square peg. I tried, it didn't work. And then I said, okay, we're going to have to make this work for us and not be a slave to the curriculum. So although I ditched it, there were maybe one or two things about it that I liked that I just took out and then I transferred it to something else. So I still made it work for us, maybe 2 days out the week, but I still got something out of it. So I didn't have to totally throw that curriculum away. But for you, I want you to have the mindset that we are going to make whatever is in front of us or on our bookshelf work for us. You might be using 50% of it, and that's okay. You can supplement the other 50%, and this is how you're going to do it. Okay, so all right, you got high hopes. You went to the last homeschool convention, or you were on the Well Trained Mind forum or the secular homeschool forum or whatever other popular forum that is out there. You're all hyped about your curriculum choices, and you have your perfect schedule, put up, and you about to do the thing with your child's learning. Okay, so then you start seeing flaws coming in. Now, what happened in our case, it was history, and I love history. But see, I know with my mindset, I know not everything's going to be perfect. So when I'm looking at curriculum, I'm looking through the take notes. You look through the table of contents, and you see, okay, we'll just use history for example. I looked at the table of contents, and I looked to see how we view the world, how much of it is covered in this book. And for us, it wasn't enough of what we wanted covered. The book itself was a good book, but it just was good with just the European stuff that it had in it. And it just was good at omitting the African and the Indian side and everything else, the South American history. So I knew when I looked at it, and I'm talking about story of the world, if you're wondering. So I knew that at some point I was going to have to go and get resources to cover the time we were doing the ancient period. I knew I was going to have to find resources to cover a couple of the civilizations that were kind of given short shrift in the Story of the World book. And so, and this is a tip. To make your life easier, you have to kind of, in a kitchen, especially if you have a whole bunch of kids, you got a big family. Shout out to Jamirel, Jamarel. I never know how to say your name. The large table. She's great. And she's really great at meal planning. You have to be like a meal planner with Homeschool. You got to be able to have organized go-to resources to go, whether it's videos on YouTube, Khan Academy, apps, make friends with the librarian. So if you're rushing because you need a book and they're all checked out at the library, librarians, they got some tricks up their bag. So she might be able to cop a copy for you. So just have at least 2 or 3 resources to use where you can kind of pull and curate your resources. So I knew that I was going to have to get a number of books, and history is easy because really you're just getting books. It's not like science or math where you might have manipulatives or equipment or things like that you can't just run out and get. But for history, it's books. So I knew when we decided, say 5 weeks in, when we would start our section on, say, the Olmecs, I knew that, I actually have all the resources in my library, but for those who don't, that's your time to go check out those resources or go find them online. And if you're on YouTube, start making a playlist. You can do this. Make a playlist for each subject: science, math, history, whatever. And in each folder, put all the videos that you think your kids will be into all those folders. If anything, especially if you have younger kids, why am I talking into the mic and not to you? If you have younger kids, you can have them watch some videos while you're working with another child. And there are some really great videos on YouTube. As a matter of fact, like National Geographic, they have a lot of free videos, but they also have videos you have to pay for, like $1.99. But those videos are usually like an hour-long episode. But there's a lot of great resources out there. So you really shouldn't be caught, off guard because you can do last minute things to supplement what's lacking in your curriculum. So this is just with history. And so what I did, I pulled out books. I went on to teacherspayteachers.com and I pulled up a couple of lesson plans. And personally, excuse me, guys, I like lesson plans that they give you a real lesson plan, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, because if you're supplementing, it's a lot easier to grab that no prep lesson plan and get going. You can print it out really quickly. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. You got a whole bunch of things you have to do. Your kids are getting up. 2 of them have a bad attitude. One of them is sick. The other, who knows, child, zombie. And you're like, okay, I got to teach and I'm unprepared. And your kids know when you're not prepared. So I like TPT because you can get a lot of no prep resources and you can print it out and be ready to go. So that's when you're, culling your resource list, TPT, teacherspayteachers.com. That is a great place to go to. Again, go in there and start clicking on things for your wish list so you can be ready to just go grab some stuff to supplement or to fill in the gaps in your curriculum. So that's history. So all I'm saying, if you have the mindset that you're going to make that curriculum work for you no matter what. Now, I got 6 weeks out of the well-ordered language, and then I got, a little appetizer like, use out of it, when I switched over to something else. But I still grabbed 2 nuggets from that curriculum and I made it work for us. So for you, instead of thinking, oh, okay, this is really not working, let me go spend 24 hours looking up new curriculum. And that's a rabbit hole, and you're going to be exhausted, you're going to be frustrated, and you're probably going to be out of a lot of money and frustrated back in the same spot again. So don't do the hunt. We all do it. Don't do the hunt. Don't call all your friends. You talk to one friend that's very reputable, very knowledgeable, very wise, seasoned veteran. She can talk you off the cliff. If you don't have that, don't just keep asking 6, 7 different people. You're going to get 7 different answers, and then your mind's going to explode. Just take what you have in front of you and then figure out what's not working. Okay. In math, maybe it's too much work for you to prep before you teach, or maybe you feel it's kind of light and it's not going deep enough and your child's kind of breezing through it. So when you expect your child to work maybe independently for 20 minutes while you work with another child, that child's done in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Or you're finding that the child's not retaining the information. Maybe you need a mastery approach program or a spiral. So again, what you do, make that work for you. Say if you're working with fractions and you know that this book is only going to spend 12 pages, 6 pages on fractions, and your child's going to need like his own book on fractions, then you go to your trusty resources. You got your Brain Pop videos, although that is a subscription-based service. You can watch some free videos. There's another way you can watch for free, but I'm not going to tell you. Maybe you DM me. Brain Pop, Con, YouTube videos, Teachers Pay Teachers, education.com. So now, you start getting into printables. I like TPT because you can get something that's like for that whole unit. Oh, and that's another thing. If you're into lap books or interactive notebooks, you can get for math, you can get a whole section that covers a unit. So say if it's fractions, you can print out something that a teacher has put together that just covers fractions for, say, 4th grade. So everything that child needs to learn for 4th grade is going to be in that that bundle or that whole unit. And you'll have something to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so now you know that your original spine or math book, which was weak and on fractions, now you have something to supplement for that. You can still use your math textbook, but that you're going to have to supplement. Now, what this means, educators, is that if you're late planning for homeschool stuff, that's fine because I'm late. Sometimes I'm early. I forget. I start over. But you need, I shouldn't say need. Summer is an ideal time to start looking at what do I want. If you're buying, if you bought curriculum now, now will be a good time to start looking through your book and not the day before you teach your child. Look through the book and just do a little glance, maybe do a quick Google review to see how to teach Singapore math level 5A or something like that, or difficulties teaching grammar or paragraph editing or something like that, just to see what are common pitfalls for that grade level, even though your child might be at a different age. But if they're doing, at least in math, it's easier to correlate to their grade level. You can see, okay, well, I know in third grade or fourth grade, they start doing long division. So let me start looking for resources because I see a lot of parents or educators are looking for help how to teach long division. So, but if that's too much planning on your part, if anything, take the challenge of breaking down each subject: math, reading, writing, spelling, history, social studies, and find 2 resources for each subject. Write it down as need be. It could be a website, a book, an app, like we use Stack the States for geography. Whatever it is, find 2 trusty resources for each subject. And just between now and before school starts, look at those sites because it's a lot of subjects and a lot of resources to look through. Look through and see, okay, become familiar with it. So when you get your, say your writing curriculum and you're thinking, like when we had IEW, my son hated it and I liked it. So sometimes you have to remove your ego and think about the good of your child and what really works best for your child. So I try to make it work for us. And I found that, it was just too traumatic for him. So I thought about what are the good things about the program? What is at least one thing that connected with my child? And then I took that and said, okay, we're just going to transfer what we got from this program and do something else. We're still going to use this. Like I still keep like the bad words list and stuff like that. I put it in his writing book. So I still took things from the program, and then I still have it because maybe my younger child might like it. But I never threw it away. Just know that maybe right now you might not know all the ways to use that curriculum, but in 6 months you might be able to figure out something. So there's nothing wrong with if you're learning something and it's not working, put it away for a couple of weeks and then come back to it. And that's the beauty of homeschooling. You don't have to be on this timetable. This is not public school. When you start public school, teachers, right before school starts, they get a calendar with all the dates, the breaks and things like that, the holidays, and they have to work their curriculum around that framework. We don't have to do that. So don't be afraid to, jump in and then jump out with your curriculum if it's not working for you. So especially for my new homeschoolers or even my veteran homeschoolers, and you're working with a subject that you don't normally teach. Maybe you outsource math all the time. And, this year, maybe your tutor or your co-op class is no longer, getting it done for you for whatever reason. And maybe this is a new subject for you to teach, and you don't know all the nuances about the subject or the curriculum that you're going to use. So if you're the type that you're just going to buy all the curriculum and let it sit on the floor until the week before you start homeschool, that's fine. It's going to get real hectic for you, but pull it out. At least look at the first week. Okay, let me be real. Look at the first day. At least get through the first day and see. Sometimes a curriculum looks like it might have gaps, but it could be teacher error. Like you don't fully grasp the material, or it's kind of hard for you to manipulate it for your child to really understand, and that's okay. So you can just pull back from that. But when that happens, I always fall back. And this is another tip. So when you have curriculum and you're trying to fill in gaps, if nothing on your handy list of resources, go-to resources works, always fall back to how do you learn? I mean, schools don't teach how to learn. Like, how do you learn? We really don't know how to learn. There are books on how to learn. And it could be something as simple as, your child maybe not understanding directions thoroughly, or maybe they kind of gloss over things, and just little habits that they have that impede them from learning. And those little habits are easily corrected. So I have a couple of books on how to teach learning. Well, how to learn, how to teach, how to learn. And it really helps put you and the child in the mindset that, okay, even if this whatever in front of me is really hard or difficult, or I just don't like it, I know how to extract the information and pull out what I need. Okay, because not everything is going to be, pretty with a bow on it and smelling good with Chanel #5 perfume. So you have to really know how to learn so you can tackle anything that's put in front of you. And for my new homeschoolers, and this might sound scary to you, especially if you were in public or private school. Now, if you've never done that and you just went straight into homeschooling, it might not be an issue for you. But for those who have that background of public school, it might seem scary to spend a couple of months, number one, deprogramming your child and yourself, but also teaching yourself and your child how to learn. How do I ask questions? What are my thoughts? What are some of the first things that come to my mind when, hold on. I've been loving this book, guys. When I grab a book, what do you naturally do when you find a book? When you start reading a book, what jumps out? What jumps out at you? Do you go to the back of the book when you first get a book? Do you look at the table of contents? You start looking at your child. You're trying to teach your child that metacognition. For those of you who know about executive functioning skills, that metacognition where you're aware of yourself. And even at a young age, children can be aware of this. You might find when you're watching your child, one child grabs a book and they'll just study the cover for like 5 minutes, or maybe they read the back for a while, or the one child was just looking for pictures, and then they stop every now and then when they see a picture. Okay, those are little indicators for how your child learns. So then you can start thinking, okay, well, if my child is always looking for pictures in a book, okay, what can I do? What strategies can I incorporate that appeals to that learning style, that type of style? It's not really a learning style, but that approach, because I see, number one, my child's probably very visual and maybe likes instant gratification, just seeing something right away versus digging for the information. But once you start asking your child those questions, what made you grab this book? What do you think about this? Why do you always go to the back of the book? Or, I noticed you read a couple of chapters, just make observations on what they're doing and model the questions that you're asking so they can start asking themselves that. They have a math problem. When they have a word problem. And as soon as they read the first word of the word problem, they're already hyperventilating. I wonder if I have my book here. I have a wonderful book. Yes. The Mathematical Mindsets by Joe Bowler, who was influenced by Carol Dweck, WECK, who wrote the book, the groundbreaking book, The Growth Mindset. And in this book, she talks about curriculum ideas. Oh, I need a pen. I need to mark that, guys. That's okay. So she talks about how children approach word problems, and you just kind of watch them, how they interact and their behavior, and you you start shaping how they view themselves, viewing the problem or the word. Now I know that sounds all kind of lofty and everything, but this is a great book to get. This is a really great book to get. This is probably my Bible as a homeschooler, because number one, the growth mindset, I really needed for my middle child who had a lot of struggles. And it was empowering, although it's still a journey, but to just plant little seeds in his mind that changes his mindset. So for us, the example I give about hyperventilating, reading the first letter, the first word, um, in a math word problem, that was our struggle. And we had a little mantra for what we had to say. And then we learned, the several strategies in a game format. We just made it fun. And, we learned together, because I had to learn when you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling not brave, these are great feelings. This is what we can do. And so then they start putting pieces together for, when they just start getting more, okay, y'all, that could be a whole nother conversation. I know you're like, Nikki, I'm here. I just need some steps to fix this math curriculum that I have. So all in all, when you are going down in flames with your curriculum, stop, relax, release. Y'all old heads, if y'all remember Whitley from A Different World. And first, it's your mindset. Are you making this curriculum work for you? A lot of times you're trying to fit the schedule or the recommendation at the front of the book, and that's not going to work for you. If it says spelling can be done 4 days or 5 days a week, and you're really stretching to make it work, but you need to squeeze in some other stuff, do spelling 3 days a week. Or, you can do a block schedule. You can do something, you can do science for 6 weeks, and then social studies for another 6 weeks. You can manipulate it. So you found you got a piece of crap curriculum, not a piece of crap. If it's a piece of crap, you want to get rid of it. You found something that you kind of like, but there are some parts of the curriculum that you don't like. Work with what you do like. While you're working with that, be like the man who's at the bar and he's talking to the girl, but then his eyeballs over here looking at the girl with the mini skirt with the Cosmo in her hand, down 5 bar stools. Work with what you have, and then go find your resources, the curated resources I told you to have, and start looking for, okay, I'm going to be ready when we finish this, okay? And then hop on over to the whatever you grab to help supplement what you were doing, okay? And then you can come back to that less than ideal curriculum. Or if you figure that you've gotten all that you can from that curriculum, put it aside for a couple of weeks, because you might find it useful 2 months from now. You just never know. Don't get rid of it, okay? What else? Okay. This was one note that I wrote. Sometimes you might have a pretty solid curriculum, but your child just goes through it just like that. Or your child goes through it really, really slowly. And so you think your curriculum is less than ideal, but it's perfectly fine. You just refuse to bend to the universe. You are rigid. So your child is flying through Singapore math and is trotting like a Clydesdale through, say, Brave Writer. Look at where they are and think, okay, what is it that is making her slow down? Is it when we do poetry teas? Maybe my child's not into girly little stuff or relaxing or maybe memory work or something like that. Look and see what it is. Maybe there's a way you can make it more fun, engaging, or shorten the time, the duration of it, to help get the child out of quicksand. The child that's flying through stuff. Okay, uh Tom Cruise, what was Tom Cruise's name on Top Gun? I forget. Well, Top Gun, I'm going to, when you finish this work really, really early, you have 2 things that you need to get done. And you find the hardest puzzles, whatever he's into. If it's manipulatives, girl, give him a big box of manipulatives. Tell him to build the Lego Death Star with the Fibonacci number sequence. I don't know. But you can still use the curriculum. You just have to tweak it. Everything is a tweak. But it does require some planning on your part, just a little bit. Just look through the curriculum that you get and then really look at it and see. History is easy. Like if you have a Christian-based background, or if you have um, a political type background, anything where it would be obvious in the text, then you can like be like, okay, well, okay, I'm secular, but this, for instance, I had the logic books, the detective the fallacy. What is it, guys? The detective fallacy book. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The critical thinking skills on fallacies and things. There are 2 of them that I showed, and they both have a Christian viewpoint. Well, I'm secular, but I make it work for me. They are good books. I know that when the pages come that have Proverbs or Psalms or something like that, first of all, I'm not afraid to have my child exposed to beliefs that are not in alignment with ours. My child is strong in his beliefs and faith, so I don't feel it threatens anything. If anything, it opens up a dialogue that you can have with your child, because eventually your child might have it outside on the street. So good preparation at home. But if I were secular, or if I were Christian and I saw something that I thought was going to be polarizing, or that would challenge my beliefs, or something that made me feel uncomfortable, then I would be like, okay, well, on this section in science, we're going to skip this chapter, and I'm going to pull resources that are similar to this topic at hand. And when we're done with that, we'll come back to the next chapter after the chapter we don't like. So just make it work for you guys. That's all it is. And all in all, when you're trying to pull resources, just think your mindset. And you know what? Many times I've told my children, when they know I didn't really do my prep ahead of time, I'm like, guys, we're going to learn together. We are really going to learn together. I can't do that for math. Math, I have to know my stuff, and I outsource stuff with tutors. But for everything else, we're going to learn together. And that's fun. So I am at the 33-minute mark. So this video was actually in response to one of my subscribers. And I'm not going to say your name because I don't know if you want me to, but I do. Her name, her first letter starts with an F. So F, this video, darling, this 33-minute video is for you. I hope there were some tips in it that you can take and make it work for you. If you need something a little bit more nuanced, let me know. I know sometimes I start rambling. I've realized that I have tweaked every curriculum that I have. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, even if it starts off shiny and bright and like a diamond ring. Eventually, you're going to get some scuffs on it. You're going to get some very slight inclusions, and it doesn't matter. You can just self-correct, your course. So that's it. This is, I think this is the last thing I wanted to say about that. So let me know in the comment section below if or let me know rather how you handle gaps in curriculum, or how do you work with curriculum that you're not really crazy about, or you are, but there are some weak spots that you want to shore up. Let us know, because again, this is a homeschool tribe, and even veterans. I'm a veteran, and I'm always going to be learning, because I don't have kids in high school or college. So those moms are like, oh, you noob. So That's my son coming back from football practice. So you have to he made me lose my train of thought. You just have to just share your information, things that work with you, because there are many educators out there that are struggling and they're demoralized, thinking I spent $150 on this curriculum and it's useless. It's not. Trust me. In fact, if you have a curriculum that you're working with and you're just like, I don't know what to do with this, leave a comment down below. We can have a live stream and I can help you through it and help you try to figure out how to piece it together so you can make it work for you. Okay. There are lots of ways to do it. In the end, your baby's going to learn. Okay. Your baby's going to learn and everything's going to be all right. So with all that said, I will see you on the next share. I have a couple of videos coming up, reviews on curriculum. I just got look, y'all, real quick. I got my camera. It shoots beautifully. I have my MacBook Pro, and I hate the MacBook Pro. I love it, but I hate it because it doesn't have all the ports on the side. You have to get the adapters. I thought I bought the adapter like 7-8 months ago, and I didn't. So all the videos that I filmed on my lovely Canon M50, I cannot download or upload to YouTube because I don't have the card reader and I can't edit in my editing software. So everything. Ooh. See, you just got to rebound in life. That could have been ugly. So I love this camera, guys. If you are on the fence or you're thinking about getting a camera, I have 2 Canons and this one is amazing. It forgives a lot of nonsense that you do, because this camera's like, girl, you know you can't do that. You're making me work at full capacity. But I have like 6 or 7 videos on here that I need to upload, and it's coming, y'all. It's coming. So anyway, I'll see you guys on the next share. Until then, this is Nikki with the Homeschool Life. Please do me a favor, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe this channel. Once I'm trying to get to like around 500, and well, actually, I could probably get to a lot higher number if I go on Facebook, but I don't know if I want everybody knowing all my business that knows me. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. But I'm going to have a giveaway. I actually designed curriculum. That's actually what my master's is in, course development and curriculum design. So I've been putting together a little kindergarten curriculum, and I'm probably going to have a giveaway soon once I get, all my stuff squared away and everything on my new website that's coming. So a lot of great things in the pipeline. So definitely subscribe so you know what's coming on, and you have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed, what's today? Wednesday. No, Thursday. Have a wonderful day. Bye.